Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andy Whitehead from LinkedIn Leaders. Have a presentation for you today, something I presented last week at the Pinnacle Club in London, and I thought it would be very much of use to you. I understand what you guys are looking for at the moment, I understand what your needs and what your wants are in recruitment, and I think this presentation will give you a few insights on how to speed up the process of attracting candidates and give you positioning with clients. So this presentation is the LinkedIn and digital strategy will transform recruitment in the next 12 to 18 months presentation. So let's get straight into it. Session content. The session will be about 15 to 20 minutes. The content will be: number one, the digital strategy window; number two, 4 digital strategies to implement immediately to re-engage clients and add cash flow; and number 3, the LinkedIn recruitment strategy, something I've covered in depth in other videos. We'll touch on it again today with a few twists given the recent changes in the online world. So let's kick off then. So before we start, always like to do this. My whole reason for now working in the digital space, well, briefly, my background is from 1996. I've been working for investment banks, media houses, the likes of Nomura, B-Sky-B, Societe Generale, Reuters, AT&T, Casino, and throughout that time I've been creating digital strategy and implementing digital strategy. Projects such as the implementation of B-Sky-B broadband into UK 6.5 million homes. I was in charge of the system test digital strategy, defining it, implementing it for data. So I've had some very, very hefty positions. My expertise is digital strategy and online marketing, and that's my background. It has been since 1996. I'm now focused purely on bringing cutting-edge technologies into the corporate space and working with those corporate companies who basically really want to position themselves over the next 12 to 18 months as authorities. And we'll see why in the next 15 minutes that if we don't start to make those changes now, no matter where your position is online, you could soon be right at the back of the pile. So to start off with, that's my background, and this is why I'm now doing what I'm doing based in the UK. I've cut down dramatically on my travelling. And this is why, because this is my beautiful daughter Molly, and she's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing now and have set roots in the UK with minimal travel. So that's my beautiful daughter Molly, and let's get back into the real crux of what we're talking about. So what is digital strategy? LinkedIn is just one component of your recruitment online digital strategy. I'll say that again. LinkedIn is just one component of your online digital strategy. More than social media, digital strategy encompasses your entire company strategy, engagement processes, client and candidate channels, and your vision. So digital strategy is more than just having your consultants on LinkedIn. It's more than having a website. It's more than having a Facebook page, as we're about to see. This is from Try Synergy Marketing. As you can see, this is their view and a very coherent, objective view of digital strategy. There is a lot there, and that's what most people see, and they get scared and they get put off and they do the basics. Well, what I want to do is give you some real tools you can take away today and add $5, $10, $20,000 to your bottom line. That might sound like hyperbole, but I'll show you how to do that in the next 10-15 minutes. So, just to recap, what is digital strategy? It's more than social media. Digital strategy encompasses your entire company strategy, engagement processes, client and candidate channels, and your vision. That's in there again for a reason. It's key that we understand. Digital strategy impacts your entire business. Your entire business. We know that some businesses have just gone out of business. We'll touch on those in a bit because they've not applied digital strategy. So your recruitment LinkedIn strategy consists of candidate and client engagement strategies, branding, and pipeline building techniques, which if implemented can position you as the sector authority and you're going to be hitting your targets. You'll be, in fact, going past your targets. So we're talking about pipeline building techniques, we're talking about branding, we're talking about engagement strategies. So the next 18 months will transform the industry. Recruiters will be replaced by new, differently skilled recruiters. That's from Matthew Jeffrey, Recruitment Personality of the Year at Autodesk. If you don't know Matthew, he's written an awesome article on recruitment and where it's moving. If you Google Recruitment 3.0 Matthew Jeffrey, I'm sure you'll find it. He's got a very, very clear, directed view of where he sees recruitment moving, and I agree with Matthew pretty much on the whole of what he's saying. So I urge you to dig out that article. So candidate and client digital platforms are projected to mature within the next 12 to 18 months. I'm going to say that again, and as I said, please really think about the impact of what I'm saying. Candidate and client digital platforms are projected to mature within the next 12 to 18 months. What does that mean? Okay, these are client and candidate platforms, and these are maturing. The one we all know about within our industry, within recruitment, is LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn are telling us at the beginning of this year, 2012, there was approximately 150,000 users around the world, or profiles around the world. The prediction is, at the end of this year, they'll be hitting around 300 million. Beginning of this year, 150 million. End of this year, 300 million. So they're going to double in size. Now, if we take the UK market, for example, depending on which report you read, the UK market has been at around 6 to 7 million users, 6 to 7 million profiles at the beginning of this year. Now, according to LinkedIn last year, the saturation point for the UK was 12 million users. So that means if we take the global view of LinkedIn, which means it will double this year, if the UK market doubles this year, as per predicted for the rest of the globe, the LinkedIn platform will be hitting maturity in the UK market. Now, how does that impact you, and why does that impact you? A number of reasons. Number one, at the moment on LinkedIn, when you rank a profile, so that means if you want to be on the front page of LinkedIn, so say for example you're a Java developer, if someone's searching for Java developer, at the moment I can show you ways so you'll be at the top of LinkedIn, you'll be ranked at the top of LinkedIn. Now at the moment, LinkedIn does not use historical data to position where you are on LinkedIn. So if you look at Google, companies pay thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds to be on the front page of Google. At the minute, LinkedIn apply a different methodology to be on the front page. That's not to say they won't make it an historical data-driven platform. So that means if you're not at the top of LinkedIn now, there is the possibility that it will be harder and harder and harder to get to the top of LinkedIn in the future. Now this impacts you in a number of different areas. If you're using groups as client channels in candidate communities, you'll know yourself, you're probably making thousands and thousands from placements. One company have used a group, comes to mind straight away just recently, and received £140,000 worth of placement fees in a very short period of time. That was for a group, UK Solar Jobs, memory serves. So the groups function works really well. Now when I teach my clients to set up client channels and talent communities, what we do is we set up a group. Say for example we're talking about Java developers again. Java developers, by the way, is a strain of coding. So say for example we're talking about Java developers in the investment banking arena based in London. Say there's 2,000 of them. Can you imagine if your recruiter, if your company had those 2,000 Java developers in one community, whereby you manage the community, you're in charge of the community, and then each week you give these 2,000 Java developers loads of great content. You give them free interviews with industry experts. You give them tips on how to use LinkedIn properly. You give them advice on how to write a CV. You bring industry experts on Java into the group to give free webinars. You'll soon be positioned as an authority in that market. What that means is candidates will come to you. They will see you as the authority. When their contracts are rolling down, they're going to be coming to you. You are the go-to guy for Java development. in investment banking in London. The double side is you'll also have here a client channel. Can you imagine what positioning it would give you to go to a client and say, listen, we are the authority in this sector. We have 2,000 Java developers, the only 2,000 Java developers in investment banking in London in our group. You advise us of the role. We'll position you into our group. Can you imagine how you can bring the two together? You're acting as a middleman. And that's the essence of recruitment. But now we can automate the process using LinkedIn. There's so many clever strategies we can show you to do. But do you see how we're creating these communities? Now LinkedIn will be maturing in the next 12 months. If you haven't created your groups in a strategic fashion, someone else will. Someone else will dominate your niche. Now is your time to be doing this. So LinkedIn is maturing. Google is maturing. I've recently looked at a number of different sectors, from the IT sector, from the HR sector to the mining sector. Across pretty much every sector I look at, I've managed to dissect the recruitment industry into roughly 50 silos. I've done that for my own personal reasons. In every single case, I am very, very confident that we can dominate the front page of Google for those silos. You, as a recruitment company, you as a recruitment director, are not using Google. How many videos are there on the front page of Google with your company? How many videos on the front page of Google are there which position your company as industry leaders? I don't mean a flashy corporate video. You need one of those, but you need the personal videos. You need content. Now YouTube is integrated with Google, and over the next 18 months you'll find that 90% of traffic on the internet is predicted to be video traffic. By 2014, 90% of traffic on the internet is predicted to be YouTube and other video channel traffic. So these platforms are changing. These platforms are maturing. And I'm looking at the recruitment industry, and there is scope for some big wins. To really go in there and dominate your sector. But the key is creating a strategy, doing it in a cohesive fashion so you dominate LinkedIn, Google, YouTube, and you bring it together. But the time is slipping. The window is now. These platforms are maturing, and if you don't pick up on this, someone else will. So that is why we need to be looking at these platforms in a strategic fashion now, creating a strategy and implementing now. So the next 12 months is pivotal to taking ownership of your online land share. We've all heard about Kodak. I assume we've all heard about Kodak? Fabulous. Kodak have applied for bankruptcy protection. Yep. The leaders of that market have applied for bankruptcy protection. And when asked why, they didn't apply digital strategies. They didn't apply digital strategies. What we're talking about here is not just relevant to online marketing, isn't relevant just to the online Amazon world. It's relevant to recruitment. The market is changing, and it's changing at a pace. It's no secret that I'll start again. It is no secret that digital strategies will dominate the future of recruitment. But what can you do right now to get immediate results? What can you do right now to get immediate results? You know, as I say, I want to define the entire digital strategy package for you. But I want you guys to go away now, take some strategies, apply them, and make immediate changes and dominate your business. Digital strategy needs to be done in a very, very coherent fashion. But I'm going to give you 4 strategies to take away now, which can increase engagement, can increase to your bottom line, can add candidates, and can give you positioning with clients. That sounds like a big order, but you'll see. So number 1, digital strategy 1. How to be front of mind engaging clients and candidates on autopilot. How to be front of mind engaging clients and candidates on autopilot. Evergreen automated webinars with industry leaders, client funnels. What does that mean? Automated webinars are whereby you direct a candidate or you direct a a client to a page. You give them a link, they come to a page, and what would happen is there'd be a box that would give them the opportunity to select date, time, and then they'd receive an invite to a webinar. So they receive an email saying you've decided to book in on Tuesday at 4 p.m. for our webinar on Java development trends or how to create an awesome CV. They turn up at 4 p.m. They watch the webinar. To them, it's perceived as being live. In fact, it's recorded. You record it once. You record it once and you record it live, and then it plays 24 hours a day. So 24 hours a day, you have got a sales engine that gets you in front of clients, that gets you in front of candidates. This webinar can be anything you want it to be. The content can be whatever you want it to be. I recommend positioning yourself as an authority. Your market in recruitment is incredibly competitive, dependent on, if we look at the mining sector is extremely competitive in terms of where the candidates move. I think the actual churn rate is something like 73% of memory serves. That's a huge rate. So you need to be front of mind with these guys all the time. Can you imagine you've had automated processes where they're receiving updates, they're receiving free webinars, free information. You will be front of mind. You'll be their natural choice. So here's a strategy I'd like you to do. No matter what industry you're in, go to Amazon. Let's keep it in mining. Let's go to Amazon. Let's do a search for mining, mining recruitment, mining jobs. Let's do a search for moving my family with mining, which is a key thing for the actual mining candidates. But do a search for something in mining. You find the top 10 authors on Amazon for your niche. You contact them and you say, hey, you've got this awesome book. I'd like to do a webinar with you. I'd like to do a 5-minute introduction to yourself. Then I'd like you to talk for 50 minutes about your book, about yourself, about the actual concept of what your book details. And at the end of it, you can even plug your book. These authors will absolutely bite your hand off for that. Then what you do is you record it. Then you place it into an automated webinar. Then what you do is you set up your email system and you send an email to all of your candidates, and they receive an email saying, hey, we've got, over the next 10 weeks, we've got the top 10 authors on Amazon, the best-selling authors on Amazon, talking about mining. And we've got these awesome free webinars for you to watch. Now you automate the progress. You automate the process. Every time someone new comes into your system, a new candidate comes in, they receive an email, they're directed off to the webinar. A week later, they get another email about the next webinar and so forth. Then what happens is you've got this automated suite of webinars and you build on it and it grows and it grows. Very, very soon, you become the industry leader. Very, very soon, you become the absolute authority in your market. So number one, well, just to recap, I'll add a few more points around that. With automated webinars, what happens is when the candidate signs up, they receive an email. Like the system we use is Evergreen Business System. And what will happen is the candidate will sign up, they'll receive an email. They'll receive an email half an hour before, well, a day before the actual webinar. They'll receive an email half an hour before the webinar. They'll receive a text message before the webinar, right, 15 minutes before, and they'll receive an email afterwards with the replay. Or we can set up so you receive just one email, whatever fits the market. But it gives you that engagement, and you're giving them awesome quality. Awesome quality. So it gives you sector authority and positioning. It aligns you to industry experts. It automates the engagement process. It integrates into your email system, and we can integrate this into LinkedIn. So it's automated in terms of your messaging and your groups and communities on LinkedIn. So automated webinars. Take that away, and this can, in effect, add 10 different salesmen to your entire system, working 24 hours a day, engaging with clients, engaging with candidates. Digital strategy number 2. There is a gap in the market. Video is 5 to 10 times more impactful, and it's SEO friendly. As I mentioned before, 90% of traffic is predicted to be video based in 2014. Now, in your industry, I'm pretty confident that you are not using video to get traffic, to get positioning, to attract candidates, to position yourself with clients. I'm yet to find a marketing stream within recruitment, someone in recruitment, a marketing channel in recruitment who's dominating their niche using video. There is so much opportunity out there. As I say, YouTube's integrated with Google, and what that means is Google loves video, it loves YouTube. And there's another thing you can do. If you go to oneload.com, this allows you to upload a video, and it will send that video to, I can't remember the exact amount, but it's like 10, 20 different video channels. So if you can imagine like 10, 20 YouTubes. So it means your video will go all over the internet very, very quickly. You can get a lot of traffic, a lot of positioning very quickly. So number 2, use video to position yourself. You can integrate video in so many ways into your websites, into your emails. Video gives you authority and positioning again. OneLoad, as I mentioned, allows you to send one video to multiple websites. It can go viral very quickly. Number 3, it engages people. People buy from people. People buy from people. Number 4, it integrates into your email funnels. And number 5, it integrates into your LinkedIn funnels. What does that mean? That means that when someone joins your database, they receive a set of emails across the year. Those emails can contain videos, they can contain webinars. Same for LinkedIn. You can automate these processes. Number 3, you guys are like this, I'm certain. Each time I talk about this with a recruitment company or with any company, they love this, they get excited. So how to add to your bottom line cost-free. I'll say that again. Digital strategy number 3, how to add to your bottom line cost-free. You add value to your candidates with joint ventures. Now, when I speak to recruitment companies, their database can consist of any size from 4,000 up to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you engage with your candidates? Have you got an automated email system, which means that no matter what's happening, the sky could be falling down, your recruitment consultants could be on the phone 24/7, but is there in the background automated email system that will send emails to your candidates on a regular basis, that keeps engagement, that gives you positioning, gives them loads of good content, lets them know that you are the go-to people in their sector? You should do. If you haven't, you need to be engaging with your candidates and with your clients. Now, taking it a step further, your candidates at some points are looking for a new position. So you know what their need is. They're looking for a new position. I'll give you an example of one of their needs. They might need to be good at interview skills. They might need to be good at CVs, writing CVs. They might need to have a great LinkedIn profile. I read a report last year about Microsoft, and I think it was in the IT industry, in the IT sector in the States. It could be a subsector within IT. This particular sector stated that when a candidate goes through the interview process, their LinkedIn profile is checked 3 times. So it's checked in the sourcing phase, it's checked in the pre-telephone interview phase, and it's checked at the interview phase. So the LinkedIn profile is checked 3 times, and the actual statistic for this subsector was remarkably high. We're talking over half of companies would use LinkedIn to check candidates on LinkedIn. So it's becoming more and more key that your candidates have a awesome LinkedIn profile. Not just a LinkedIn profile set up and left, but it's got to be saleable. It's got to have call to actions. It's got to be copywritten, which means it's written in a language that attracts the company. Have they got the right recommendations? Have they got the right connections? Have they got enough connections? Is the network built in the right way? When they go to an interview, do they use LinkedIn Signal to check what's happening in that company? Do they find out what people in the company are talking about that day to give them that insider edge at the interview? The chances are they're not. These are all strategies that I teach candidates. And we've actually got a product, there we go. This is our product. This shows candidates how to create a profile that will get them sold. One example is I had a young lady, been out of work for a year and a half with a child. She didn't have any LinkedIn presence, had nothing on LinkedIn. We went through a set of steps and she was headhunted within 10 days from standing start for a position that was 2.5 times the rate of her last position, because we gave her such positioning on LinkedIn. All truth, all ethical. And for that 1.5 year gap, what we did was create a group on LinkedIn around the area she works in, which was sales channels. The group, I believe, is called Sales Alliance. And the girl's name was Nicole Garwood. And she had an offer to be put forward, as I say, in a very quick period of time. So strategies you can use to make your candidates very saleable. Most candidates don't know this. Most companies don't know this. So think about this from a joint venture point of view. So I come to you, I say, right, I've got this product. It retails for let's say £199. What we'll do is we'll push it out to your candidates, and we'll say to them, you've done you've bought X amount, or you've negotiated a discount with myself, and we're going to promote the product at £99. So the product makes the candidate more saleable. The product makes your life easier. You, as a recruitment company, if you promote this to your database, imagine you've got a 100,000 database, and we get a 5% buy. So 5,000 buy it. 5,000 buy it, and we're selling it at £100. That's a lot of money. Now you and I would split that, say 50-50. So straight away, in that instance, we're talking about, if I've done my figures right, 250,000 each. So let's bring it down a bit. Let's make it more palatable. Let's say you got a database of 10,000, and in fact, we're going to make £50,000 worth of sales. The candidate gets a product which makes their ability to be sold a lot easier. It makes your job as a recruiter to sell them easier. You're creating a passive income, and I've, as a product holder, are receiving an additional income. Now, can you see how these joint ventures, if you work with a strategic mind, you can add value to your candidates, and that's the key word. You shouldn't spam your database and sell all manner to your candidates. I recommend putting a 12-month plan in place, and you actually create a set of releases, actual product launches. So you come up with 3 to 4 different areas you want to promote to your candidates. They need to add value. They need to add value to your candidates, and they need to be awesome products. But straight away, I can think of half a dozen in a host of different sectors in recruitment whereby we can monetize your database, within a number of months. But within a month, the bottom line will be increased hugely. It's all about thinking outside the box, thinking about, what does my candidate need? What does my candidate need? Now, who am I going to match them up with? Then when you actually promote these products to your candidates, you use the automated webinars we've been talking about. You use video. You add it to your email system. You create a whole product launch which is automated. So this becomes another automated process. So you're adding value to your candidates, and you automate the joint venture process. So do you see how these things are building on top of another? So we've got 3 digital strategies so far, and they're building on top of one another. Now we're talking about adding to your bottom line. So joint ventures, number 1, minimal cost to implement. Number 2, you get immediate cash flow. Number 3, adds value to candidates. That's key. They need to add value to candidates. And number 4, it positions you as someone who cares. You need to be a trusted advisor. You need to be ethical. So that's the product we're referring to, where this will help make your candidates more saleable. Number 4, build automated candidate engagement and client channels, adding value. I've touched on this all the way through. What is an automated candidate engagement and client channel? It's not difficult. It's email. It's LinkedIn. You can automate these. You can automate it so you can be sending messages out for the next 12 months. So if your database consists of 10,000 now, you can create enough messages that they will run on autopilot for the next 12 months. Of course you'll add to them, but the key word is engagement. So back to the mining industry. It's a very competitive market. Automating this process will add engagement between yourself and candidates. It will give you positioning with candidates. You become the natural choice. You become front of mind. When you buy a product, you've seen that product 7 times minimum before you buy it. And what we're doing here is we're adding that engagement factor, so you're front of mind for the candidates and also for clients. So we can do that with email, we can do that with LinkedIn. So what are the benefits of using this? Well, number one, the email database is in place. Number two, you can systematize this for 12 months plus. 12 months plus, this can be, you can set it up to run for 2 years. Number three, you re-engage client and candidates front of mind. Key, you're front of mind with clients and candidates. Number four, you can use automated webinars and videos. Number five, you can add value to candidates. I'll just go back to number four, just to make that clear. Use automated webinars and videos. So with emails, with LinkedIn, we can create these funnels that send emails on certain days at certain times to certain candidates, certain clients, or to all candidates and clients. And we can add links to our webinars and videos. So you create this whole strategy which runs on autopilot. Number five, it adds value to candidates. Key, you need to always be adding value. And number six, it positions you and your company as an authority. As an authority. So you are the natural choice to clients. You are the natural choice to candidates. So just to recap, 4 strategies you can take away immediately in the recruitment industry. Number one, how to be front of mind, engaging clients and candidates in autopilot. We've discussed the use of automated webinars. Number two, how to dominate Google, the search engines. Video is 5 to 10 times more impactful than articles and text, and it's SEO friendly. Number three, how to add 10% to 300% per year to your bottom line. I'm fairly certain there are very few companies out there who are monetizing their database in such a fashion that it adds value to their candidates and it adds to their bottom line. Companies spend hundreds of thousands of pounds for these databases, and it's a case of monetizing it strategically. Number four, build automated engagement in client channels. So that's giving you an insight into 4 strategies you can take away straight away and apply. Those are 4 key strategies to apply in the recruitment industry. Now, what is an effective LinkedIn recruitment strategy? Some key LinkedIn statistics. Fact number 1, LinkedIn is 277% more effective for lead generation than Facebook and Twitter. That's from HubSpot. Fact number 2, 73% of candidates are keen to receive messages about new career opportunities. 73%. That's from globalrecruitingroundtable.com. And fact number 3, the UK saturation point is 12 million for LinkedIn. We're going to be hitting that this year. LinkedIn is maturing. Now is the time to get your strategies in place, or it will be too late. It will be too late. Hope you get what I'm saying there and you get by the tone of my serious voice. Now's the time, guys. Now's the time. We don't want to be doing what Kodak did and thinking we wish we did that. In all seriousness, now is the time to be getting your digital strategy in place. Now this is how we use mind maps to create a LinkedIn strategy for your company. I've done a separate video on this, which I think is on YouTube. If you do a search on Google for LinkedIn recruitment strategy, it's on the front page of Google. So there's a separate strategy for that. I believe it's gone down very well from the feedback I've been getting. But it'll give you some ideas on how to set up your recruitment strategy. Do contact me, Andy at linkedinleaders.co.uk, or contact me on LinkedIn. My public profile is LinkedIn Strategy. So guys, just to recap there, now is the time for your digital strategy. I've actually got a seminar coming up in central London. It's going to be a very, very intimate affair. I want to hold it with key guys, and I want to be working in a workshop manner. We'll be going through a presentation. I want to make it interactive. I want to work with you at a business level. I want to understand what problems you've got in your business, in your recruitment business. I want to understand how big your database is and how we can monetize it. I want you to leave that session. with a set of action steps to take away and make at least 1,000 times more than you paid for the seminar. I want you to walk away with an idea of how to implement a strategy for your recruitment company. Not only a placement strategy and a client strategy, also how to monetize your database strategy. All three. We use LinkedIn, we use Google, Yahoo to attract clients, to position you as leaders. We do it to attract candidates. Then we use your database to also add value to candidates and clients, and also to add to your bottom line. So, recap, thanks again guys. Andy at linkedinleaders.co.uk. Get me on LinkedIn, send me a connection. LinkedIn strategy, Andy Whitehead on LinkedIn. So I look forward to speaking to you very soon and seeing you in central London for the seminar. The link I don't have, but I'll put it on my LinkedIn profile. So if you go to my profile, I'll add the link to my summary, and on there'll be a link through to the event. So I want to make it an intimate affair. I want an interactive affair whereby I can work with you at a strategic level. I want you to walk out with ideas on how to monetize and add huge value to your database, to how to create pipelines now, client and candidate pipelines now. So, speak to you very soon. Have an awesome day. Take care. Till next time.